I said it. Instant classic. Boston 115, Brooklyn 114. I mean, an absolute buzzer beater. Like, Jason Tatum hits a layup, I mean, right before the buzzer, Rob. Like, you couldn't have gotten any closer.
Right.
And they edged the Nets. So you and I both picked the Nets. So I'm going to ask you this question. Are you encouraged or discouraged about your pick?
I'm encouraged. The Nets are not. I mean, we got to be realistic. I know everybody thinks, and my old radio partner, Mark Wilson, used to say this, Chris, and I'm with them. You never like how you lose, right? And that doesn't matter if you get blown out
right.
or you lose in a close game. You never feel good about how you lose. Okay?
Right.
So I don't look at games like that. They go to Boston. You hope to split. That's your goal up there, right? Boston's a good team. They're the favorites. Okay,
it ain't gonna be a sweep.
It ain't gonna be a sweep. It ain't gonna be easy, Chris. Boston has a better record. They've been playing well. You got to go and beat them. Okay, that's the thing. And if you're Boston, you got to feel like, man, that was great. We won. But I would be a little concerned because KD took 24 shots to get 23 points. I don't know how many nights, Chris, you're going to have that.
Probably none.
Right, the turnovers. The Nets turned the ball over. I mean, there was a few things that you could clean up and get better, but I still feel like if you're the Nets, you hate that you lost on the buzzer beater, or, layup or whatever, but you got to feel good like we can win here. This is not, if our guy hits 2 shots, we win this game, and he didn't.
I'm with you, Rob. Look, this is going to be a battle.
You could be a 7-game series, right?
Yes. I mean, it's definitely going 6 or 7.
Didn't Milwaukee lose the first 2 games, Chris?
Yes,
in
last
Brooklyn?
year against Brooklyn.
And they got blown out terrible in game 2, and it looked like the series was over. So be careful.
Exactly. But if I'm a Nets fan, now they certainly gave away an opportunity to steal one and take control of the series. There's no doubt about that. But if I'm the Nets, Rob, I'm like, our guy, our best player, was bad. Rob, we gave grades today on First Things First this morning. I gave him an F.
He was bad.
I gave Kevin Durant an F.
He's way better than that.
No, that was the worst playoff game I've seen him play in years. The only one I could go back to was the Clippers. Remember the second game in 2019 when the Clippers were the little engine that could?
Right.
And they beat Golden State and everybody was excited. And KD only took 8 shots. Remember that? And the story was, what is he doing? His teammates went to him like, dude, what
8 shots ain't going to get it done. Right.
Now, he wasn't bad. I mean, he was 5 for 8. He scored 21 points. So he was productive, but I'm just saying, that limited amount of production because Robbie gave you nothing else. If your shot is off, it's off, but he had 4 rebounds.
You remember that. That was the game where he said, you know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. And then he had 40 the next game.
Right. Thank you. And so maybe he'll come back with that type of outing. But, Rob, he didn't rebound. He only had 4. He didn't play make. He only had 3 assists. He was terrible with the ball. I was like, dude, what are you doing? They were stripping him easily. It looked like he couldn't handle the physicality. I know he can, but I'm saying that's how bad he was. He had 6 turnovers.
They let some stuff go, too, yesterday.
Yeah, they let him play physical.
Like they let him be physical, and the Nets called the league office and said, look, can you watch this tape? You can't do that to our guy now. And I guarantee you they'll change a little bit because I think that they allowed the Celtics to be. Nobody's crying.
And they
won the game.
Both of them.
But they were physical against a star, though. You know that.
Boston's going to be more physical. They're a more physical team. If you let them play like that, it's going to be an advantage for Boston.
No doubt.
Because they're tougher.
No doubt.
But I think, Rob, the Nets took their best shot because you saw it. Boston came out looking to bully them. In the third quarter, they got up double digits.
And the Nets came back.
The Nets came right back and had a chance to win. So
they could have been run out of the gym, Chris, after that third quarter. Seriously.
Right.
Like
Kevin Durant's not having another game that bad. I don't think it's that bad in this series. I'm not saying he's going for 30-plus every night, but I don't think he's having another game that
Chris,
poor.
I don't remember 23 points on 24 shots. Is this Dominique Wilkins? I'm just trying to figure it out.
That's unique. And then even on that last play, Durant was kind of caught sleeping. He was caught sleeping. You know, he was just kind of in no man's land, and they get the pass to Tatum in the layup. So, bottom line, and here's the other thing, Rob. Al Horford went for 20. He averages 10 points a game. I don't think he's doing that very often. Marcus Smart, God bless him, he's a terrific defender. He went for 20. I don't think he averages 12. And so they got some performances. Jaylen Brown got his average, 23. Jason Tatum, a little above average with 31, but he does that. He can do that. But they got some guys that performed above their heads. The Nets had guys, Steph Curry, only 9 points. He was below his game.
Right.
KD was below his game, and they were there. They were
right at the doorstep. That's the scary part, is that they easily, and I say that, they could have won that game. They could have. And they didn't. But I'm with you. I'm not backing off. We know the NBA playoffs. One game doesn't mean anything. Nobody's packing up. The Celtics are supposed to win at home. They were the favorites, Chris, by 4 points. Of all the games yesterday, all the other games were like 10.5-point favorites. Like the home teams were supposed to win by double digits. That was the only game that was close, and it was close. And if you got a regular KD, not even a superstar KD, a regular KD, the Nets win that game.
One of the things I would say to the Nets, and I hope they can break out of it, Kyrie, who was sensational.
What was he 11 for? What was his?
I think 12 for 20 for 39 points.
No, he
was ridiculous.
Yes.
It was just unbelievable. Yeah, 12 for 20. But, Rob, on the last play, there wasn't much to criticize him about. Last play, he went hero ball.
He just dribbled the air out of the ball.
It was too much. And I think he was thinking me or KD. Because if you look at that play, he had Nick Claxton in the paint open. Didn't go to him. He could have, at one point, if he had gone left rather than right against the double team, he would have drawn another defender. He could have kicked it to Dragic in the corner for a corner three, which is the easiest three. Didn't do it.
Right.
And then when he got double teamed and over in the right wing area, Bruce Brown's cutting into the paint open. Kyrie didn't hit him. He goes to KD. KD kind of has to force up, a 28-footer or whatever it was, and they lost. Or, that gave Boston the ball, and they convert and win. So I just think, Rob, I've always been a proponent. You can put the ball in the hands of your best player, but the best player or players doesn't have to take the last shot. Michael Jordan went to Bill Wennington, went to Steve Kerr, let John Paxson take the last shot in the finals. Like, make the right play. And I thought any of those guys I mentioned, those role players, had a decent shot. So I just thought it was hero ball at the end. The Nets don't have to play that, and they got to learn from that. So, but we'll see, Rob. Both of us feel good about it, our picks, and we're sticking with the Nets. Where you guys at? 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Do you think, I've heard people say it's over.
Oh, God.
Boston's winning this thing based on that
After that game, Chris. Now, if they ran him out of the gym and KD had 35 or 40, then I would say, hey, he can't play better than that. What are they going to do? But that wasn't the case last night. Did they watch the game or no?
Hey, they had their minds made up already.
Right.
That's all.
But that's it. But there you go. That's when, if anybody says they were convinced after watching that game that the Celtics were going to win the series, then they're being disingenuous.